Hey guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me in this one. In this particular video, I'll be answering a question that I believe that a lot of you may have in your minds, and that is, can a pilot become an astronaut? Now, the reason why this is a question on my own mind is because as a young person, as a young kid, I've always wanted to, fly an airplane. And I remember that was my top choice. That was like, if I would do anything in the world, I just wanted to become a pilot, and that was it for me. But as I started looking into different options and different things that got me closer to an airplane, I thought about being an aeronautical engineer, I thought about being a pilot. The astronaut part didn't really come to mind because that is not something you generally see. I mean, maybe you saw it in videos, but that was it. But nowadays, with the race to space by Richard Branson and people like Elon Musk and also Jeff Bezos, you can tell that a lot of people are getting closer to space and it's becoming more accessible to everyone. And that got to me, can a pilot become an astronaut? If you're new to my channel, my name is Stephen Ojo, and on this channel we talk about aviation, finance, and those are the two major things that I talk about. Those are the things that I really share my ideas on and my knowledge about. And if you're interested in that, you can stick around on this channel. Now, I have another channel that is strictly aviation. This channel is a bit of a mix because I realized that it wasn't easy to start another channel from the scratch. Having to build it to, get 1,000 subscribers and all these requirements. There's a lot of work. Now, I still have that channel, so if you're interested in that, you can always subscribe to that, and I will link it below as well. But this channel strictly is, like I said, finance and aviation. So if you're interested in those two subjects, kindly subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, in order to make this clear, we will need to look at some of the differences between a pilot that flies an airplane and a pilot flying a spacecraft or an astronaut. Now, in this case, when you fly an airplane, most of the time you fly in the speeds well below the speed of sound, generally between Mach 0.75 to Mach 0.9. And the altitudes also vary, generally from 30,000 feet to maybe about 51,000 feet. On the other hand, for a spacecraft, you're looking at altitudes well above the capabilities of an airplane. You're looking at about 330,000 feet in the air, well, in space, actually. So you are outside of the atmosphere than an airplane would operate in. They behave differently. The aerodynamics are different. The physics behind that can get advanced, and I'm not going to get into that. And of course, I'm not an expert in that field. But now I have a question for you. What airplane flies high as about 51,000 feet? What is the name of the airplane? It's a private jet, just to give you a clue. Now, the other interesting fact that I need to state is that being an astronaut doesn't necessarily mean that you have to fly, because most of the time, they will generally have about 4 pilots that are astronauts, and then they have other astronauts or crew members that are there to carry out certain mission requirements. For example, they want to carry out certain tests, they want to carry out certain experiments, and the goal of those other crew members are just there to carry out those tests. They're not necessarily pilots, they probably don't have any aviation background most of the time. Now, an astronaut is a person that is trained to pilot a spacecraft, travel in a spacecraft, or work in space. Now, from that definition, you can see that being a pilot doesn't necessarily make you a better qualified candidate to be an astronaut. Now, here's the reason. Back in the days, NASA selected pilots from the military, and the reason was because they wanted pilots that have flown fast airplanes, have operated in a very high workload environment, and have had to make decisions pretty quickly. With that experience from the military, these were suitable candidates to become astronauts. If you remember, everyone at the time needed, to explore the space environment, and they needed those people that were capable and be trained. And since NASA didn't have the funds or resources to start training people from the scratch, they selected this group of people. But nowadays that has changed because the mission requirements and the goal of getting to space and the knowledge and expertise required have actually changed. And this is why this is a very interesting topic for people like you and I. Now, one of the requirements to be an astronaut is, of course, you have to be a US citizen. That's straight and clear. The next thing is to possess a master's degree in a STEM field, including engineering, biological science, physical science, computer science, or mathematics from an accredited institution. The next requirement is to have at least 2 years of related professional experience obtained after degree completion, or at least 1,000 hours PIC time on a jet aircraft. And the last one is be able to pass the NASA Long Duration Flight Astronaut Physical. The aspect that answers a bit of the question that we are posing in this video is the number 3 requirement, and that is have at least 2 years of related professional experience obtained after degree completion, or at least 1,000 hours piloting command time on a jet aircraft. If you're an airline pilot, then there's a chance that you can become an astronaut, as long as you have a master's degree, you're a US citizen, and you have been able to pass the long duration flight astronaut physical. Now, in my opinion, these requirements are not really that difficult to get. If you can get a master's degree and you have 1,000 hours of PIC time on a jet airplane, and you're able to pass the physical and you're a US citizen, that's really all you need. But to be honest with you, your chances of getting selected to be an astronaut are very slim, unfortunately. And here's why. According to an article that was released on NASA website, it is really hard to get selected as an astronaut. The 2013 class had more than 6,000 applicants and 8 were selected. Let me repeat that. 6,000, more than 6,000 applicants and only 8 were selected. Let's move on. In 2017, more than 18,300 people applied and 11 new astronauts just graduated from that class. The odds are in no one's favor. When I came to interview, a senior astronaut told me, just because you would be perfect here does not mean you will be selected. It is very hard, and that is the process of becoming an astronaut. So to answer that question, can a pilot become an astronaut? The answer is yes, as long as you have all the requirements of a master's degree in a science field or a STEM field, and you're a US citizen, you're able to pass the physical, and you have at least 1,000 jet time. But your chances of getting selected is what breaks the back. Well, I hope you found value in this video, and I hope you've gained 1 or 2 things from this video. It's a very interesting subject to me, and I decided to share with you. If you have found value in this video, please don't forget to drop a like and also leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I will look forward to reading them. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.